Okay, this is homework out for Unit 2, Worksheet 2, and I'm going to start with question number 3. So the directions say to accurately graph f of x and g of x on the same set of axes. So that's what we're going to do. So for question number 3, I want to graph this equation. So I'm going to start with y equals 3, absolute value of x minus 4. So my start is at positive 4 and 0, and then my stretch is 3. So I'm going to go over 4, up 0, and then a stretch of 3, so up 3 over 1. And then I want to accurately graph because I'm going to be looking for intersections. So I'm going to use my straight edge to accurately graph. And then my other equation is just y equals negative 2. So I'm going to go to y equals negative 2, which is right here, and then graph that. So that's g and this is f. And we're looking for where does f equal g. So f would equal g wherever they're intersecting, and these graphs will never intersect. So then that means this is no solution. And then we also have to solve this algebraically for when f of x equals g of x. So I'm going to go ahead and show the same idea. So this is my f of x equation. And then I'm going to equal it to my g of x. So step 1, we want to isolate the absolute value. So I'm going to divide by 3. And then I want to determine the number of solutions. So if it's equal to a positive number, remember that's 2 solutions. A negative is no solution, and a 0 is 1. So this is a negative value, so that means there's going to be no solution. Okay. Okay, and then let's take a look at question number 7. So the first step I always want to do is isolate the absolute value. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 7 over 1. But 7 divided by 1 is the same as 7, so that's the same thing here. And then this just cancels. So I have the absolute value of 6 minus 3x is equal to 21. And so determine the number of solutions. So because it's a positive number, I'm going to have 2 solutions. So I know I'm going to look for 2 values. And so the first thing I want to do is create my 2 equations. So this could be 6 minus 3x equals 21, or negative equals 21, right? So the inside here could be positive or negative, it doesn't matter. So if this was positive, right? And so then now from here I'm just going to solve. So I'm going to subtract 6. And that gives me 15, and then divide by negative 3. So there's one solution. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I can distribute the negative in. And then add 6. And then divide by 3. So then x equals 9. And then I also need to graph on a number line. So I'm going to just do that up here. And so x is negative 5 or 9. And so negative 5 is smaller, so it's going to go on the left. 9 is larger, so on the right. And then just put dots at negative 5 and 9. Okay. And then let's do number 11 as well. So for number 11, I want to move the 8 over because I'm going to isolate the absolute value. So I'm going to subtract 8. And 11 minus 8 is 3. And then I want to divide the negative, right? I don't want to distribute it. I want to divide by -1. And then once I do that, I want to determine the number of solutions. So I know that I have an absolute value equaling a negative, and so that would mean I would have no solution, and so then there's no graph. Let's do one more. Let's do number 13. So I want to isolate the absolute value. So I don't want to do 7 minus 3 first, right? Because 3 is multiplying to the absolute value, not subtracting from the 7. So I want to subtract 7. And then divide by -3. And then determine the number of solutions. So it's positive, so that means I'm going to have 2 answers in the end. And so this could be positive, or it could be negative. And then just solve. So I'm going to add 6 over, and then divide by 3. And then the same for the other side. So I'm going to distribute the negative in. And then solve. So I'm going to subtract 6 and then divide by -3. And then to graph my solution set, I want to do the smaller value on the left, which is the negative, and then the higher value on the right, which is the positive, and then I just need to put dots there. And then that's the worksheet 2 homework help video.